he's not supposed to be in contact, but he's been on the ground, I swear, more than anybody on our team. He's been doing 7-on-7 drills, things like that. Not that anybody's hitting him, but he's laying out for balls and ends up making some really nice catches. So, the good news is we'll get Henry back in the mix, and Henry, I think, is a really understated player. He's a really good football player. Yeah, and again, I'm optimistic we'll get Jake back. He may not be game ready in September, realistically, but hopefully by late September, October, he can get back and be a real helpful player for us. And excuse me, I think the good news there is probably one of our more improved players this spring was George Kittle. He's done a nice job, and we had no idea how that was going to shake out, but it turns out to be opportune timing for him.
What do you think you and your coaches are going to do between now and August? I mean, are there certain specific things that you maybe want to get done?
There are, and it all goes in phases. The biggest thing that's changed in college football, in my opinion, is just the time we spend on recruiting. So, the next 4+ weeks or 4 weeks, we're going to be on the road starting Monday. Guys will be out in schools, so the focus kind of shifts over there for a block at a time. We'll get back in here and have a chance to get back doing the things that we did in February and March, where we're actually studying what we're doing, researching, talking about things that we might do to do things better. And you're always recruiting. That never stops. The focus will change a little bit. June will be a combination of that, camps, recruiting again, and then we'll be ready to go hopefully for camp by the time the June ends. But there's always something, and it's just I've said before, you could have a staff that just does nothing but recruit. You could have a staff that does nothing but coach football, and it's you just have to find that right balance, and that's always something you're looking at and trying to reflect upon.
A lot has been made of CJ and this spring and Jake and all that stuff. But is this team going to ride on its offensive line this next fall? I mean, the offensive line seems like it's where the most growth needs to happen.
Yeah, I think it is. That's a focal point, and it's not the same as, but similar to our linebacker situation last year. And the defensive tackle spot's the same thing. So, it's like anything. Anytime you have good players, you have somebody has to step in and go. And I think back to 2010, I believe it was. We had Zusovics and Geddes jump right into the right side, and James Ferentz. I think it was 3 guys right in a row that were first-year starters there. 2010, and they played pretty well. They didn't play as well as they did the next year, maybe, but they played pretty well. And we won some really good football games that year with those guys. And I think that's kind of what we're looking at. It's just a little bit of a changing of the guard there. But all you can do is evaluate your players versus the guys that you've seen play in your program. And I think the 2 guys that are starting right now, Cole Crossan, have the right attributes. It's just a matter of them continuing to grow and understanding it's a hard road, and they're getting schooled by 2 pretty good ends at times. Those guys they're going against are pretty good players, but that's good for them. They don't know that maybe, but it's good for them.
Is it hard to gauge their growth though when they're going against 2?
Yeah, yes and no. It doesn't always show up, but I've seen I think all of us that are watching have seen them make incremental steps. And the big thing is they're not there yet, but they realistically can be there and should be there, and I think they will be there. And part of the reason I'm confident is just the way they're wired, the way they think and approach. What it is they're trying to get accomplished. That really helps reassure you.